Hello and welcome to one of my favorite types of videos to make, which I don't get to make that often because, otherwise that would just be crazy. But a book haul! Some of these books have been gifted. Some of them I have purchased myself. And it's a rare occasion when I get to make this because, one, I try not to buy too many books. Recently I have been though. But also I do get gifted a good amount of books from Book of the Month because I make content for them. So they send me their selections and I just simply will never be able to keep up with reading them. And that's not even a complaint because I'm so grateful. Like, that is my dream manifested as a reality. But if you don't know this about me, I'm also a paperback girly. So I do actually prefer paperback, which kind of hurts my soul because I have so many hardcovers now. But as you can see from the stack, I have purchased some paperback, and then I've decided to show you guys the Book of the Month books that I've received that I'm actually the most excited for, plus some books that I have purchased because I want to read them or for various exciting video ideas I have. All right, so let's get into this book haul. A Book of the Month from April. I'm literally making this before it's April 1st and it feels illegal, but I'm not gonna post it before then. Anyway, Enchantra by Kylie Smith. I have obviously the first one, Phantasma. I haven't read it yet and I really want to. It looks so good. It's supposed to be a romantasy. I think it's kind of gory, but I want to read this in the fall, which I am not manifesting fall at all. Like, I need summer right now, but I just know that I'm gonna be so happy when I can read Phantasma and then the second book this fall. It feels like it's gonna work out for me, you know? Another Book of the Month that we have, Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. I didn't know she was coming out with another book. I feel like I say that every time she comes out with another book recently. But like, did we know about this? Did you guys know about this? Because I fully didn't until I found out from Book of the Month. But this is kind of like a family drama. It's about 3 siblings. Their father passes away. There's magic. There's a family business. And I'm really curious to see what I think about this because I really love the Alice 6 series. I haven't read the last book in the series, which is criminal, but I've heard terrible things about it. But maybe we will love this one. If you all are familiar with how everybody is posting these catabasis by R.F. Kuang prep videos, which are, to be honest, stressing me out. How much do we really need to be prepping for this book? I don't know. But it's also kind of fun because it feels like we're in school again. Feels a little bit intellectually stimulating, if you will. And I'm kind of here for it. So with that being said, I bought Piranesi by Susanna Clark, which R.F. Kuang was saying that she read heavily while she was writing Catabasis. I know I'm saying it wrong. I apologize. I need to watch a video on how to say it. This apparently inspired her a bit. And then of course, The Inferno, Dante's Inferno, which this is giving intellectual. This is me back getting my English degree, analyzing the text, thinking critically. And I'm excited to read this. And then because I haven't received an ARC, which I understand, I just now read my first R.F. Kuang book last month, so why would they have sent me an ARC? Guess I'll just have to wait for the next one. But now that I know she's a great author, and I mean, I kind of knew that from everybody freaking out over her and how amazing she is, but now that I know that for myself, I am going to be reading everything she publishes and also prepping for her new release, which I will be reading. And I honestly get the vibe that it's going to be my favorite of her releases, even though I've only literally read The Poppy War by her. I have Babel, which I need to read. I need to read Yellowface because I know I would eat that up. It's just, life is too short. There are too many books to read. I'm stressing myself out. Don't come for me, okay? I used to be a girly that after I finished college, okay, I read a lot of fiction my whole childhood, got a degree in English, it burnt me out. I stopped reading fiction and I only read nonfiction for probably like 2 years after college until I picked up a fiction book that just like got me back into reading fiction and I was not burnt out by it anymore. But I used to read a lot of nonfiction and I love reading self-help books. I love learning new things, and I kept seeing How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I'm someone that feels like they could very much use any help that they can get to communicate better in my career, in my personal life, not in a way of like, this is a red flag because I'm reading this and I'm gonna manipulate everybody in my life to do what I want. No, it's just that I feel like sometimes I struggle to communicate, especially in high stress situations or at work, or I don't know, when it comes to making new friends. I'm constantly questioning myself and questioning what I said after I said it, or what I could have done better, or like, did they like me? Once I got this, people have been like, oh, that's a red flag book. Like, why do you have that on your shelf? And I was like, oh, I thought like the, however many laws of power book, that's a red flag book because you're literally talking about how to gain power and control over people. But this is just like how to get new friends and how to, I guess, influence people. I mean, I am technically trying to influence you guys to read books. Anyways, all that to say, I just want to read this book because I feel like it'll make me a better communicator and help me in my career. But I do realize that, it's like with anything, you could use the tools in this book for evil. But I think it's kind of like that whole money isn't inherently evil evil. Money only amplifies the person that you already are. So the kind of same thing with this. Anyway, Devotions by Mary Oliver. I read Upstream by Mary Oliver probably 2 years ago, and I read it on my Kindle, and I really want to buy a physical copy of it because the way Mary Oliver writes about nature is some of my favorite ever, and that book was a book of her essays and poetry. This is a book of her poetry, which is also very good. It's very nature focused. It's very easy to understand. You don't have to work super hard to understand the poem, which personally, that's how I like to enjoy my poetry. Maybe I'll read one to you just for fun. I don't know, they're just like cute little moments like this. I have just said something ridiculous to you, and in response, your glorious laughter. These are the days. The sun is swimming back to the east. The light on the water gleams as never it seems before. I can't remember every spring. I can't remember everything. So many years are the morning kisses, the sweetest are the evenings, or the in-betweens, all I know. Just the little things in life. That's why I love Mary Oliver so much. But nevertheless, moving along, this is a haul, not a review. Then we have another nonfiction book, which I was like, I want some more nonfiction books that are about random topics other than like business or self-help, things like that, that will teach me something just for the fun of learning. I found someone that requested this. Holy shit, I filmed too many videos today, I'm losing it. Actually, I need to adjust. My ankles are killing me. I actually saw someone recommend this on TikTok, and it is basically a nonfiction history book about Elizabethan England. This author has a few other books about different eras as well. This is about the 1700s, and it's basically as if you were to time travel there, what your experience would be like based on facts. But apparently it reads like fiction, which sounds right up my alley because I do love historical fiction, and I just wanted something to better myself and keep learning because, you know, I'm not in school anymore, and I kind of miss the act of learning new things, and I feel like it's gonna be so fun. And then I could just pop off with random facts about Elizabethan England at a party, you know? It's always good to have random facts up your sleeve when you're interacting with large groups of people, I feel. When the conversation starts to dull out, you could just whip out a random fact. Actually, that's never worked for me, I'm lying. All right, back to some of the book of the month ones. We have Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I've been seeing this everywhere recently. It has a very high rating on Goodreads right now, and I really love the cover of it actually. I think it's beautiful. Basically, it's about this family that lives on this island, and then a mysterious woman washes ashore. It's giving mystery, it's giving family dynamics, and I feel like I'm gonna eat it up. I actually feel like I need to read this. I need to read this like yesterday. Ugh. When I make these videos, it actually pains me how much I want to read every single book that I own and every single book that I see on the internet, and I just wish I could like quit my job and only read forever. Then we have Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. This is another book of the month one, but I've seen a lot of people raving about this, and Haley Pham recently read it in one of her reading vlogs that I just watched today actually while I was doing my nails, which turned out hideously, but nonetheless, it is like a love story. It's literary fiction. It's centered around music, early 2000s music. I think it's supposed to be a toxic relationship, and I love books about toxic relationships. It's like my catnip, so count me in. Speaking of, I also got Acts of Desperation, which I am currently reading. This is about another toxic relationship. This girl is 23. She ends up meeting a guy that she just kind of becomes obsessed with, but he turns out to be not very nice, and things spiral from there. But I've heard that people love this because of the writing, and it's so raw and real, and it just feels like she is able to say things that we all think but would never say out loud, and that's my kind of book. So I can't wait to get further into this. It's already very captivating from the first 6 pages that I've read. So as you can see, I've already tabbed multiple things in here. Like literally, I highlighted the first line of this. The first time I saw him, I pitied him. I can't say pity. The first time I saw him, I pitied him terribly. What a good first line for a book about a toxic relationship. Like fully, that's iconic. And like literally from the first chapter, you can see how much she idolizes him. Like she's already comparing herself and him, like how nobody so beautiful could live with us, meaning everybody else in the room, including her, like the separation of her and him and how he's better. And you can just see the foundation for a toxic relationship brewing from the first page. And I think it's just so smart how Megan Nolan is writing this story. I feel like it's gonna be my 7-star read of the century. I don't know, maybe it's too soon, 6 pages in. We'll see. Anyway, I also got, well, this is a spoiler alert, Save the Cat writes a novel. This is about novel writing. It's nonfiction. I'm not gonna say more about that because that's for me to know and you guys to know eventually. Andromeda, which is another book of the month. I've already read this, but I wanted to haul it anyway because read this. Read it or go watch my other video where I review all the books that I read in March because I talk heavily about this book. So good. So good, but also not for everyone. And I mentioned that in that video and talk about it in depth, but nonetheless, it's a book I got from Book of the Month and I wanted to show you guys because I can't stop thinking about it. Here we are to the meat of this video, which is 3 more books. I'm going on a little adventure in the upcoming week. I have a video coming up where I will be reading all cowboy romance books for a week. I'm only gonna read cowboy romance. And hear me out. I really wanna describe to you guys what's going on in my mind. All right, just stick around for this. I am not a romance reader. If you've been on my channel, you know I've tried. I like Emily Henry romance. I have enjoyed romance here and there, but I don't. The majority of the books on my shelves are not romance. But then I've been seeing all these girlies on social media raving about the cowboy romance. And then I watched Twisters, and if you've seen Twisters, I'll just put it up on the screen. I wanted something to capture that feeling for me. However, I thought it would be fun to just dive in deep and fully see. Out of all 3 of these, we have Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage, Wild Love by Elsie Silver, and Flawless by Elsie Silver. These are all the first books in a bunch of different cowboy romance series. I also have another random Western book coming in the mail, which we can discuss at another time. But I'm gonna really try out the cowboy romance genre and let you guys know, is it worth the hype? Should we be reading these? Are they silly? Are they silly but good? Are they silly like, don't read that? Like what's the hype about this? Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!